Alright, today I'm unlocking fairy rings. I need a red vineworm, which I already have in my bank, so I have to get a fat snail and red spider eggs still. I'm going with the eggs first, so I'm on my way to Varrock. I can get them down through this trap door somewhere, but after trying to figure that out for a while, it was actually in the wilderness section, and I don't want to do that. So I left there and entered the sewers instead, and I tried to find some down here, but I was walking about for ages. My sense of direction is actually shocking. I couldn't figure out where the heck they were at all. It took me a while, but I eventually got them, and I teleported straight out of here. Then I started making my way to Mauritania. I entered the swamp to get the snail, and made magic mushrooms. And then I'd already used up all my prayers, so I had to go and refill it, finish filling my sack up, and then attack this snail. But it turned out that it was actually the wrong kind of snail, so I tried again, and this time I actually got what I needed. I entered the grotto, prayed while I was here, got blessed by this green man, then teleported to Lumbridge. I entered Zenaris and went towards Tangleroot for the big fight. I sussed out my safe spots, but then my chat told me about one right at the entrance, so I went with that instead. I stuck all my secateurs, attacked the tree, and then ran back out to my safe spot. And now all I had to do was flinch it. So I turned it on, left click attack, attacked the tree, then ran back, but I ran one square too far and fudged it all up. So I tried to quickly reset it, go back into the right square and tried again. And after a quick 20 minutes of attacking, running, waiting, repeating, I finally killed it, and I think I've probably learned how to flinch now. I spoke to the fairy godfather and completed the first part of the fairy tales quest. I used a bank here while figuring out how to do fairy tale 2. Step 1 was to talk to the farmer and drain her. Then I had to head back to Zenaris to use the fairy rings for the very first time. I travelled to AIR, then DLR, then DJQ, then AJS. Spoke to Fairy Enough and then went back to Zenaris again. This time I had to pickpocket the fairy godfather. Waited a while for the other ones to stop looking, and then I went in for it. But I failed. I actually did have the thieving level that I needed, so I must have just done it really badly. I decided to leave the quest there anyway because I had finally unlocked fairy rings and that's all I really wanted. I bought some feathers instead and went fishing for a while, catching trout and salmon and then cooking them on this never-ending fire. And then after a while I went over to my waka tree and rowed myself down the river because I decided to have a go at Temperos now. I grabbed a harpoon and a rope and then I hopped in this big boat. I hopped to the Temperos world, grabbed a bucket and a hammer and started fishing and cooking and fishing and cooking. Then I loaded up the buckets with the fish and actually filled my buckets because I forgot to do that. And I also grabbed another one just in case. Then I just spent a while fishing, tethering, hammering, cooking, harpooning, and soon enough it was all done. And then it took me a bit of time to actually figure out how to leave here. But that was my first game completed, and my first drops were double spirit flakes and raw salmon. I hopped back on the boat and continued doing tempo until I completed 5 kills. Then I went back to the reward pool, and what I got was salmon, mackerel, pike, spirit flakes, tuna, more flakes, planks, fish, more fish, a casket, and more fish. And inside my casket we have 4 diamond necklaces. Not great. Maybe I'll do better next time.